curriculum workshops, and we had received a grant 3 years ago from the Administration for Native Americans, and that grant was to fund the expanded use of a bird database that was developed by Keri, our linguist, in collaboration with many of our elders and fluent speakers. And the goal of the grant was to enhance fluency in word use. And as many of you know, our verb conjugations for Tlingit language are very complex. It's not like English, like adding ed and ing. It's a complex language system. And the goal was to also work with our language teachers to translate their understanding of the verbs into lessons for learners. And so that has been much of the focus of the project, and what we had hoped to do and accomplish here at the language workshop with the PAN conference was to share those language lessons with all of you. And I just want to say thank you to those of you who wish to or able to gather in Keri this afternoon. Thank you for taking your precious time to be with us. Our student chief, thank you for joining us today. So for today we have 2 presenters, and I think each presenter will take about half an hour, and after that we'll have time for questions and feedback from the audience. So we have, first up, we're going to have Quan Shane, Virginia Oliver, Hannah, Ruth Demmert. They're going to demonstrate a language lesson for you guys. And second, we will have Kingasi, David Katzeek. So now, Wright's going to help show you guys what's online. All of the lessons have been loaded onto the Goldbelt Heritage website, so he's going to show you some of that as they present their lessons. I have a short introduction here that Quan Shane Kanak prepared that I'm going to read for you here. Okay, so the student in the team is Virginia Oliver, Quan Shane from Wrangell. Her teacher is Kanak, Ruth Demmert. In Wrangell, there aren't any Tlingit speakers left. Virginia has learned from many speakers and teachers, including Roby, Ethel, Florence, Dick, Nora, Kent, Ruth, John Martin, Franklin James, and all of the teachers. Virginia talks to Ruth on the phone. Ruth lives in Cape, Virginia lives in Wrangell. And she also listens to Goldbelt Heritage language classes via phone that include all of the elders. Virginia has traveled to Cape to meet with Ruth face-to-face to study and to create Tlingit dialogue for the Goldbelt Heritage Unit on verbs. This has been a very enriching class for Virginia and project. The weekly classes at Goldbelt have fluent speakers speaking Tlingit language, and Keri explaining and sending emails on class materials are also helpful. Virginia says, without this class, the teacher and the speakers, and especially Ruth Demmert and all of the other speakers that have helped her, at this time I wouldn't be able to do as much as you see here. In the beginning I could not say any phrases, only nouns, so Gunas Chish, Ateng Gunas Chish to Goldbelt Heritage Foundation, and the Kaki Han who have helped her. That's from Kwanzaa. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and let the team get started.
A Sitka song. Shuck. 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 Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck. Shuck. Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Shuck. Way American Sign Language. Shuck. 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 Ah, shuck. Dasaya? What is this?
Shuck.
Shuck. Shuck away. Dasaya?
Shuck away.
Ayak eh. Dasaya?
Shuck away.
Dasaya? Dasaya? Ayak eh. Dasaya? Ayak eh. Dasaya? Shuck. 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 Ayak eh. Shuck. Gishu. 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 Way American Sign Language. Gishu. 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 Wait, Ed. Gishu. Ah, yeah. Hey, Gishu. Mm-hmm. Shuck. 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 Gishu. 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 Dasaya? Ah, yeah. Dasaya? Yake. Gishu. Dasaya? Ah, yake. Shuck. Dasaya? Ah, yake. Lakuji. Kuatlatu. Shuck. Shuck. Gishu. 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 Shuck. Yahyati. It's like the color of strawberry. Shuck yahyati. Gishu. Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Ah, yak. Eh. Yeah, naka. Ah.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Did you tell them?
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Two.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu. Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu.
Shuck yahyati. Gishu. Ah. Sheesh. Dasaya? Dasaya? Dasaya?
Shuck yahyati.
Ay, Tlingit, you Chatangis, Lakudzi. Oh, what? Two, Kinak Adi. Ay, gonna cheese. Oh, what? Sinuxiat. Okay. Shuck. 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 Yachitiye. Geshu. Shuck yachitiye. Geshu.
Shuck geshu.
Shuck. Shuck. Yachitiye. Geshu. That's not yachitiye. Yachiti, it's like it. It's the color of the strawberry. Shuk yachiti gishu.
Shuk yachiti gishu.
Okay. Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit. Hayakajit. Hayakajit. Sakatuhan. Hayakajit.
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 Hayakajit. Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Okay.
Yes,
Away. Hayakajit.
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 Hakishal. Hayakajit. Okay. Yeah, away. Sakatuan.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit. Owe. Dasaya.
Hayakajit. Away.
Aya. Dasaya.
Hayakajit. Away.
Dasaya.
Hayakajit.
Away.
Dasaya.
Hayakajit.
Dasaya. Aya. Karachish. Dasaya. Hayakajit. 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 Dasaya.
Hayakajit.
Karachish. Shuck. 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 Yachitiye. Gishu.
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 Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit. Hayakajit. Stakatuhan.
Hayakajit.
Hayakajit. Hayakajit.
Hayakajit.
No, we have to do it all together for them all of them. Shuck. Gishu. Shuck. Yachiti. Gishu. Shuck. Yachiti. Gishu.
Dasaya. Dasaya. Dasaya.
Yachiti. Gishu.
Yeah, away. Shut.
Shuck.
Shut.
Where?
Yeti Gishu.
Yeah, away.
Shut your kitty, get you.
Yeah, yes, away.
Ayakache.
Hiya. Hey.
Yeah, away. Yeah, away.
Kayakache.
Hey, kaya pa, Jay.
Ah, we students away.
Yeah.
Waiter. Ah. Shuck. Shuck. Shuck yachiti. Gishu. Gishu. Kayakajit. 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 Atshi. Kayakajit. 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 One more time for my students over there. Shuck. That's the blue one. That's the blue one.
You can't, yeah, away. You can't.
Shuck yachiti gishu.
Shut your kitty, get you.
Yeah, away. Yeah, away.
Where's shuck? Kayik.
Kaya ko.
Ah.
Gusto mo piyoni?
Okay. Ah, you can. Shuck yachiti gishu. Kayakajit. Shuck yachiti gishu. Kayakajit. Taik. 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 Stakatyohan. Yeah, yanaka. Taik. 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 Ah, dasaya. Dasa taik. Leitka enach.
Nothing.
Yeah, away. What?
Underneath, yeah, underneath taik.
Kaya
Kayakajit. Kayakajit. Taik. Kayakajit. Taik.
Yeah, away. Yeah, away.
Ah, yeah. Kayakajit.
Yakyati.
Yakyati.
Yay, oh, wah! Kayakajay. Taik. Kayakajay. Taik. Kayakajay. Taik. Kayakajay. Taik.
Geshu. Kayakajay. Taik. So. Geshu. Kayakajay. Taik.
Shak. Yakyati. Geshu. Kayakajay.
Shak. Yakyati. Kayakajay. Taik.
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 Taik. Kayakajay.
Kayakajay.
Taik.
Taik.
Kayakajay.
Kayakajay.
Taik.
Taik.
Kayakajay.
Kayakajay.
Taik.
Taik.
Yay, oh, wah! Das saya.
Kayakajay.
Das saya.
Taik.
Das saya.
Kayakajay.
Das saya.
Tayi. Away.
Ah, yak
Taik. Away.
Ah, yak yeah, naka. Yeah, naka. Kayakajay.
Kayakajay.
Taik.
Kayakajay.
Kayakajay. Taik.
Taik. Shak.
Yakyati. Geshu. Kayakajay.
Taik.
Yay, oh, wah! No. Ah.
Geshu.
Yak
Shak. Yakyati. Kayakajay.
Taik.
Yan Hwasinu. Yan Hwasinu. Yan Hwasinu. Yan Hwasinu.
Fall apart.
Kayakajay.
Tayi. Yan Kosino. Yan Sino. Kayakajay. Tayi. Yan Kosino.
American Sign Language. Me, I. Hwa. 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 American Sign Language. Clap, palm towards chest. Me, I. Hwa. 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 Ay, hwa. 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 Geshuk. Yachiti. Geshu. Kayakajay. Yan. Hwa. Hwasinu. Oh, hey. Hey. Ah. Do it again. Kaya Katzeek.
Kaya Katzeek.
Kaya Katzeek. Kaya Katzeek. Tayeek.
Tayeek.
Yan. Hwasinu.
Hwasinu.
Yan. Hwasinu.
Hwasinu.
Kaya Katzeek.
Kaya Katzeek.
Tayeek.
Tayeek.
Yan. Hwasinu. Aya. Eh. Yan na ka. Shak. Shak. Yachiti. Geshu. Kaya Katzeek. Yan. Hwasi. Hwa. Hwa. Sinu. Hey, can you have them say it back to you? And then we'll go on with it. Okay. Are you asking?
Okay, now I'll ask you this.
You left.
Okay, huh? 5 minutes? Okay.
Tayeek Katzeek.
Tasa ye yisine. Tasa ye yisine.
American Sign Language, you. Her.
Tasa ye yisine.
We. Shak. Yachiti. Geshu. Kaya Katzeek. Tayeek.
Tayeek.
Yan. Hwa. Sinu. Yan Hwasinu. Yapa?
Yakawan.
Ano ko?
Tasa ye yisine.
We shak. Yachiti. Geshu. Kaya Katzeek. Tayeek. Yan Hwasinu. Yapa?
Tasa we ye ausine. Tasa ye ausine. We ye away.
Sam, come on.
Tasa ye ausine.
Listen, she's talking to you. Turn it around, show it to
We
Shak.
my shuck is missing.
Shak. Yachiti. Geshu. Kaya Katzeek. Tayeek. Yan Hwasinu.
Oh, you KOA!
Yan ausino.
Ausino. Okay, we turn it around so I can show it to him. Okay.
Tasa ye ausine. what can you do?
Way. Shop. Yak City. Gishu. Kayak J. Taik. Yan Kwa. Sinu.
Ah, yeah. Rob, speaker away. Come on. So there. I can ask her and she'll say.
You can't confuse. That's it. Oh, Sydney.
Who?
We shop yeah, yeti issue. Hi, Hajit, Taik, Yan Osini. No, Yan Osi, no. Hi, Hajit, Taik, Yan Osi, no. Katzeek, that's it. Osini. That's it. Sydney, we shop, yeah, yeti issue, Hajit, Taik, Yan Osi, no.
Oh, yeah. Show them. Can you cut your hand? Oh.
I think it is, these lessons that they're presenting are, found on the Goldbelt Heritage Foundation website, goldbeltheritage.org. And when you go down, scroll down here under Educational Resources, you double click that, and here's the list of them. We're a little slow today because we're hooked up to wireless somewhere in this vicinity out there. But they can all be found on the Goldbelt Heritage website. Anyhow, that's where you can find these here on the Goldbelt Heritage Foundation website, goldbeltheritage.org, and you go to the address, you click the link Educational Resources, and double-click that there, and it gives you the list of the language lessons that they've developed from last year's lessons are in there, and there's two years. There are 10 units with 5 lessons each, and it gives you the unit with the with the background of the unit, the cultural background of the unit, how we use them in our Tlingit world, and the unit is also presented for a teacher to pull up the unit in a lesson and you can print it out. We're still not getting it there. And then there's also an audio that's available with it. And you can download the audio. Some of it doesn't work. It comes out in Chinese because let's see, I guess on Apples you have a hard time with it, but it'll come out in different writing. But they're written in English and the Tlingit translation, and also the audio is on there. And if you have trouble downloading the audio, you can request a CD for an audio CD or DVD from the Goldbelt Heritage Foundation on our contact link on the website. Sorry about that. Gonna cheesh. What's that? Just educational resource. It's not going to happen.
I failed to mention that on page 5 of the pink handout next to you, there are some of the phrases that they're going to use in their lessons today. So if you want to see how some of those things are spelled, they're right here in your handout. Our next presenter is Tlingit, David Katzeek. He's going to present his language lesson, and he's also going to talk a little bit about his teaching style and education in general. So, Tlingit, group.
A 2 or 3 minute video of the lesson being presented to school age in the classroom.
Gonna cheese on yat kutsani, gonna cheese yaigi yak hati artist the cut Johan. Ach ishas kanach teti. Ach lees ko has lukach ati. Ach klaas lees ko has taktein tan. Ach da kanuku kicks adi. Stakat slaineti. Kach adi. Gunnal cheese. Ach tu wuchaslitin. Yada falkeni yaigi. Ach tu wusitin. Ach tu wuyek Ach tu chlichish. Chigegu genke in kachwaniki. Ade ach has auslitu ye. Ach lilko haska ach ishas. Chigegu genke in kachwanik. Shugunach. Most noble, precious children of the earth, I am very thankful and grateful to look into your eyes, into your faces today. My father's people from the Kadiente-Laiti clan. My grandfather's people from the SOK clan. My mother's grandparents, Taktain Tan. Thank you for being here. Kakach ati, gunas chish, please guhas. Kaakak dukane yan, sluknach ati, gunas chisha, yatach waskeni. Achtu wisichin. What I want to share with the teachers and others at the very beginning is how I was taught the language as a child. Ye awayawa ka akhlis singita wewa singita wewa ka aduwa ach. This word listening is a verb So let's all say it. Kagaduwa-ach. Say it with feeling. Kagaduwa-ach. Kagaduwa-ach. Again. Kagaduwa-ach. Listen to the rhythm of the language. Tashgawachti, just kukayachti. Chak awayewuti uhan kuk gaw awahaji yewuti. Yata awa kuk gaw kwasaye. Kuk awayek kwasaye. Ye awa kagaduwa ach kuk. So. Ye anaka. Good. We say it. Kagaduwa ach. Ye awech wasitin ach leis kaget. Ya the katku. Ach. Wasi yakwaka, my younger brother. Somebody tell me how to say that. Huh? A cake. Yeah, well, to get a cake. In the young, you do a soccer cake. To cook the away, so a ya as tochnuch. Kagaduwa-ach. Sing it the weather. Kagaduwa-ach. Ye and na keni awa tletsu wasi akwaka Yesu ya the katsko city wasi akwat tokanei chas Yesu tokanei city ye awa du cook that so ya das toch nicht das toch nicht ka. Sing it the weather. Ach, das kann sing it the weather. Kagaduwa-ach. Ye naka. Kagaduwa-ach. Itach awe. Ye ya ach sing it the weather. Ya kadutige. Ya kadutige. So. Kles ye yakwaka yuhan. Cook. Ya kadutige. Ye awe wasa yakwaka ya tu wusaguin katuslaan tin awe ach has ausi tu hayu katangi singeta wewe adusa wewe ye wayakika singeta yakat adusa wewe adusa wewe adusa wewe singit ayakat gat gunas cheese du awet kunuk sawa he candy in das was it singit the wewe ya kadutige ye anaka ya kadutige. This is something that when I'm going to break and say this to the children. When I say this to the children and I say to them, what I'm telling you is that you're a genius. that you are very intelligent, that there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can't learn. Yakuji Geslingit. Yeyanaka Yakuji Geslingit. Yakuji Geslingit. That's a powerful verb. Yakuske. Aksha. Yakuske. Awehaji. Hatuk Judoanak. Hatuk Judoanak. Yakuske. We have been, intelligence has been released in us. We have intelligence in us already. Dehatuyeti at Wusko. Teskego Saji. Achawe Yakuji Gaslingit. Achawe Kakete Kakis. Ah. Yatinega verb Kakete Kakis. Ah. Sugainaka. Oh, Kakete Kakis. Ah. Yegwe.
Kakete Kakis.
Tunachi. Yainaka. Kakete Kakis. Ah. Ethel. Gonna cheese. Kahina. Gonna cheese. Kakete Kakis. Ah. Kakis. Ah. That's why we are to listen, to pay attention, and this is the reason we can learn easily, is when we learn to listen and to pay attention. It's so important. It's so important to be able to be very still. Kliye inate. Kliye inate. Kliye inate means be still, be quiet, pay attention. Let me tell you why I'm doing this. I know I really appreciate all the props and things that everybody, the sign language and everything that's happening. I was working with a man named Katzeek, was it do a sock plate? Paul Jackson. Do you know where you where ya hustling get you a tangi that. Where clay the heen kaju dudley sucked has to drink kaju dudley suck. Click cook away haji yewu teach aku. Ka click kuhita haji yewu tea. Acha wesley G at what was cool. The way ye are car gachling. Slitza. Achtawasi gui in Kahwaniki. Acha westling get ya kuji gay. Clutch to clay cook has to giewuti. Kakuhita. Halkate away kakis ah. Kakate kakis ah. Aga awekla konach kakisaku. Aga awekakisaku. What Paul Jackson said when a student raised their hand that said, but we don't have books and we don't have paper and we don't have pencils. We didn't have that a long time ago. The person was using it as an excuse regarding why they have a hard time coming to school because the Tlingit people didn't have books and things of that nature. What Paul said was this is the reason that Tlingit people are known to be very intelligent, because they learned how to listen, they learned how to pay attention, and they learned how to learn. To learn how to learn means to be still, to be quiet, to become focused, to really use what's here, because that's the important part of learning how to learn, is to use what we have right here and what we also have right here within us. When we become focused, that was cool. And we have to be able to accept that, what other people are teaching us and helping. Notice I asked, how do I say my younger brother? Could you tell me again? Katzeek. Mm-hmm. When a woman says, or a lady says about her brother, she uses the same word?
No, she uses
Katzeek. Okay, see the difference? If you're a man, how would you call your younger brother? Huh? Keek. Okay. So keek yeanaka. Keek. If you're a young lady or whatever, if you're a woman, how would you say your brother? Katzeek. Yeah, so it would be bad for me to say Katzeek. But those are the nuances of our language. I'm getting a little off track here, but I wanted to say that what Paul was talking about was the importance of paying attention. Those are words that our people used with one another a long time ago. So when my grandmother said, Yakuji Tlingit, I had to accept it. I had to believe that. And I was learning the language before I went, learning the Tlingit language before I went to grade school, because I grew up as a child with my grandma and my grandpa, because my dad and my mother fished and hunted, and my mom was working in the canneries, and my father was trolling and hunting and fishing and trapping and so forth, and halibut fishing and stuff. So my dad was gone quite a bit. I grew up with them, and I learned this from them, my grandparents. So my grandparents then would say, Tlingita wewa ya at kakine. Ya at kakine, meaning to respect things. And that's what my lesson is about, and I'm going to go just a little bit further, and I'll get right into what the lesson is. Ya at wune. Ya at wune. I like the way you take the initiative. It's good. When you say those things like you just said it, our language has a spirit. Stakatata we ayakwahego kojiti. Yegwe. Stakat ayakwahego kojiti. Hayukatangi ayakwahego kojiti. Osiku ituwa wuskuwu hayukatangi. Ihandek wanuk. Ihandek wakut. Our language has a spirit, and when any language, whether it's in math, in science, whether it's in law, medicine, whatever it is, it has a spirit, and those things that we talk about, and those things, engineering, there's a language in engineering. It has its own vocabulary. When you talk about math, It has its own vocabulary. And so when I'm saying that the languages have a spirit, I'm sharing with you a real key in a Tlingit education efforts. We knew that there was a spirit in all things. And when we interacted and showed that we wanted to learn that language, to get up close to the language, that language would come to us as well. It would greet us. And this makes, for me, using these kind of tactics with the students in the school system, it makes it a lot of fun, because when the kids are not even native, for them to begin to speak the language and say it, all it is doing is it's emphasizing what I was taught as a child by my grandparents, how powerful it is to learn anything because we're intelligent. So the next thing they would say, Ya atkakine, to respect all things. And you know what? I used to think that that was the most important in our language, that word Ya atwune. And I believe it is. But the other day, I was thinking about Ya atwune. And I was like interacting, meditating in my mind. And I was saying, Hawasawe Ya atwune. Dot agweslichin. Awa hwa Hawasawe kaketsaku koa Ya atwune. What I said, I thought respect, I'm thinking that respect is the most important. Is that correct? And I heard in my own mind, yes, it is. And then here's the question that came back to me. But how are you going to know about respect? How are you going to know about respecting the fish, the tree people, if you don't know anything about the fish or the tree people? So having knowledge is most important part to Atwus too in our culture. I've come to believe is the most important. To study, to learn, to learn, to learn more and more and more. And so Ya'atwune, and then finally Wuch'in Yejikachine, to work with one another. So what I shared with you is kind of like the introduction, and it takes a long time in working with the students on this, and it can go deeper and deeper. So what I did was I put together something on Ya'atwune Tlingit Ani, and this goes through kindergarten through 12, and the introduction is on the first page, and the phrases are there, and I believe Fred, you put those on the we have that recorded, and there was a correction that Ethel made, and this is what I really appreciated. And what I appreciated when I'm being corrected, I don't take offense at it, because I look at that as real respect. Some people have perverted respect to say, not to say something that might offend them. I believe respect is being able to share with someone something that maybe needs correction. And so when Ethel called me today, I'm really glad. Ethel, where could you share where you saw an error? Oh yeah, cause they got these. Okay. So I only got like. So she corrected me. Let's get into try to get into some of these. I'm going to ask a question, and you could. In the first part, I'll just ask. Where class? Okay. Jantikehini. Where class? What community? Even in English. Hmm? I can't hear.
They live in Juneau.
Juneau. Oh, it's called Jantikehini. Say Jantikehini. Jantikehini. So, I'm sorry, but I have all the names of the community in this, and I guess I've used up all my time already, and I didn't even really get into it. Only got into part of my lesson, but we have all the communities, and part of the reason we have a lesson on respecting the land is basically because we named almost all of Southeast Alaska. Our people named all of Southeast Alaska. And I'll finish by saying this. If you're going to respect something, anything, you have to learn about it. I hear people say Tlingit ane. I'm just going to ask all of us this question. What do we know about Tlingit ane? Because if we're going to respect it, we need to learn about Tlingit ane. We have to respect the whole thing, not just one part. We have to respect the water. We have to respect the little fish. We have to respect everything that's there. We have to learn about all that's there, because our people learned about all that was there. Our people were good managers of the resource because they learned about it. That's respect. Respect is learning about it. Learn about who you are. Learn about your own abilities, talents, and skills. So thank you very much. I guess we're going to switch to the kind of question and answer and comments and remarks. So I'll stop here.
And check out the units that our teachers have been working on. They're very nicely written out. They're a step-by-step how to teach. Each unit has 5 lessons on a different topic. There's the audio recordings of the elders you see in this room, along with others pronouncing all of the phrases in each lesson. So whether or not you're a language teacher, you can use those resources to learn the language on your own as well. It's a really wonderful resource. So make sure and check that out. Are there any questions or feedback or comments or any of that for our presenters today?
The only thing I wanted to say was I really enjoyed your lesson as well as Joy's copy on it. I thought that was really, really phenomenal. Because I know how you were coming into the
into doing what you're.
Great improvement. It was really, really good. And Tanakh, you're one of the best teachers that I know. So I'm just wanted to make that comment.
Testing, testing, 1, 2.
This microphone here is just recording for the camera over there, so it doesn't project into the audience.
Okay, I just wanted to let you guys know that we tested this out when we were in Cake. I went over to Cake to see Ruth on the 17th. I think that was the day. No, it was after that. The 24th. No, it wasn't the 24th. I got home the 24th, and then I turned around and came right here for this. So we'd been working on it, but I also had to do other things. And when we were over there, we thought we really had it down. Boy, we were really going for it. 2:30 in the morning, we were up testing her exercise thing too. We did really good. We could see where she had to move us over. But anyway, she had a dinner on that day. It was an anniversary for her, so she invited her young family over. So we decided, and we bought some Easter goods, and we had them come over. And right after dinner, we said, okay, time to go to work. And so we sat the 2 young men in front of us, her young grandsons and her daughter, Myrna. And we set this up, and we started to see they were our audience, and they were a little rusty on their Tlingit. So we started doing it, and when we wanted to introduce Tayyik underneath, they were going, Tayyik, Tayyik, under everything, and they were looking at us. Pretty soon we said, that's a Tayyik, the chair legs. That's what they thought it was the entire time. And then when I introduced it to the Wrangle group, the young kids for piloting, they thought the same thing, that I was saying the legs of the chair. Did you think that too? So that's really something that was kind of a hard thing to try to figure out how to show you a gesture of what we want. And it's so abstract underneath. And thinking about that song you made up about above, underneath, behind, and on the side comes to mind. That would be a really good thing to use to show children what that was. Was there anything else? Anyway, we did that with the kids, and they caught on. But we were timing ourselves. First we did it in 12 minutes, but they didn't understand. Then we did it in 17.
When you hold something up instead of just using the chair, if you're doing that, this is Tayi. Tayi is another word for when you say put something underneath something. That Tayi, aya, Tayi. And then you say Tayi when you're putting something under there. Is that correct? So, Kuk Tayi. Kukaya, Kuk Tayi. So then you can go to the word Tayi.
When it's with a verb.
Just a comment is that, being that Tlingit is my first language, and when I hear the new speakers teaching the language, I'm really impressed by their wisdom and by their way of teaching, because, I myself struggle with that type of instruction. One, because maybe sometimes we that are speakers may take it for granted. And so when I'm asked to do it this way, like in the Western setting, my mind goes blank. Because I don't. Once I put my mind into thinking Tlingit and forget about, because I want to teach the language, then the Tlingit process comes out very easily, and that's how I develop my lessons. And sometimes it gets a little in depth, but that's the way it is for me. I can't, go by the small words to the little bigger words, and our words our phrases are understandable to us for our children to learn. It's not too difficult. I teach this to children who never spoke the language, probably never been around the language, and say the words very clearly, without any hesitation, without any struggle. And so what I'm saying is that when we limit our children to say that those are too difficult for them to learn, I think we limit them. We put them in a box. And I guess in a sense, too, is that I don't want to be put in the box and saying, use this phrase and then work from there. For me, once it's in a Western type terminology, my Tlingit goes out the door, and all I can see is that one phrase, and trying to put it into Tlingit is another thing, and then to add another phrase with that phrase because it's not the way I think. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'm not saying I'm wrong either. I just wanted to put that across because for me, I think it's good that we understand this thing between us. Not between us, but that we understand that my thought process isn't the same. And I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm not saying mine is right. But that we do have different thought processes because of the way we've been raised. I hope I just wanted to make that comment.
I'd like to add my 2 cents. What David was saying, he learned from his grandparents. I think a lot of us that come from Tlingit-speaking homes, they don't teach you. You have to listen. You have to listen, and that's how you learn. I was lucky to grow up with parents that spoke all the time at home. And as children, we were just as crazy as other children. But parents, when you got my father always had all kind of visitors that came to learn something. And he always told us, sit still, listen. Give them tea, and sit and listen. So we had to sit and listen. But when you, as speakers, and I really love the program we have been going through, and I noticed that Juno has a lot of speakers in your class, Keri, and I encourage them to correct what they hear. Then the teachers will know they're teaching right. The reason why I'm saying that is, as I got to be a teacher at SNP, there's some words that I said wrong, but the reason, and my dad would correct me, and that would embarrass me right in the middle of class. And I said, Dad, that's how I learned. He said he'd get tired of telling us the word, so but he knew what we meant, so he let it go. So being a teacher, I had to correct myself. And it's not to embarrass a person if you correct them, just so that they can say it right, and it'll come out right, and when you do your lessons. And I really think that the program we have been going through, like I said, is good. And of all the presenters that I saw here, they did a good job. They did a wonderful job. I'm very proud of them.
I just want to enforce just to add to Paul and Ethel's comments. I think the elders are here kind of taking the grandma's role. I think the biggest barrier that we're encountering is reassurance. I think the new learners, like what our teachers, what we just listened to a few minutes ago, the chair, the little pig, and so forth. I think hesitation is because they don't want to pronounce incorrectly. And somehow or other, I get a feeling that they don't want to be embarrassed. So they want to make sure that they pronounce it correctly. And even of our teachers that are non-Tlingit speakers, or they're beginning to get the fluency by constant repetition, is what I'm observing. And I think I did that on evaluation. Encouragement to say constant repetition is a good teacher. And so when you say a few words like wolf, for example, those are kinds of pronunciation that we need reassurance when you say coach. Can we all say coach? Coach. That's the wolf, okay? So then we throw another one at him. The hill. Gooch. Gooch. Okay, those two, just as an example, I'm using that. The sounds has a similarity, but they have two different meanings. Gooch is the wolf. Gooch is the hill. So when they listen to the elders, I'm just one of the elders. And to me, there's no room for me to criticize. The elders that are here in Juneau and in Sitka, if we listen to the teleconference, I want to compliment the elders that are involved in saying that we too are with you, in reassurance and saying, yes, we're here together on a teleconference reinforcement, and there's no hesitation. And to me, I think that assertiveness by the elders, I have to compliment the elders also. It's really wonderful, and it's destined that we're not on the trail of failure. We are on the trail of progress, like what David is saying. You know, we have to elevate. We have to compliment the teachers and the learners and compliment the elders, that we're all on one team and saying that we're doing well. Even when we make mistakes, we have a right to make mistakes. The only thing we don't have a right to is embarrassment. We need to overcome that barrier of embarrassment. So then encouragement goes a long ways. My comments is toward encouragement. Good teach. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have one more question, and then did you have closing comments? Yeah. Okay.
Learning from them also. The cat is taking food. So that's how I feel I'm learning from you guys too.
About the young man, the two young men in the front, had they had any Tlingit earlier than this in Juneau? Yeah. You did? Where? Harborview. Okay.
My mom put me in the TC element, and it's Tlingit, Tlingit culture, literacy, and language. Tlingit culture, language, literacy, and we would always make stuff, dance, and speak Tlingit.
Introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Site Kikatu Sak, Chak Nahat City, Daphne Ayakhat, Tak Dain Tan Yari Ayakhat, Kit He Engung Kwan, and that's all.
The other man in blue, did you ever? Never? Very good.
I think that's a testament to you two, that you're excellent teachers.
Gunikchish, thank you for joining us today. We have had the privilege of working with many language teachers and fluent speakers and elders over the last 3 years. And what I can attest to out of all of this work is that our language is precious to us. And it's a struggle to take a traditional language where there are not necessarily traditional education possibilities for preserving a language and translating that into curriculum. It's not an easy task. It's often uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for our fluent speakers. I'm aware of that and very cognizant of how hard that is. And I think we, as a group of young teachers and staff and elders, have tried to push aside our discomfort to try and do what we can for our children. And I have to say that because I was bothered by a comment that was made a few days ago. And it was that our language has been reduced to nouns and verbs and sentences and paragraphs. And the work that we're doing is not to reduce our language to little tiny bits and pieces. That's not our goal. Our goal is to preserve our language and to hold on to it and do what we can by whatever means. And I see that in all of you. And I want to say thank you, Gunikchish, for your hard work, because I know it's not easy. So thank you for staying the course, Gunikchish.